trying to hello Lamide. Platform, send the messages, inform your colleagues, inform your friends. We're about to start. In few minutes, we'll be set. Once again, this is a game-changing training. This is a training like no other. How to sell with ease. Invite your friends, drop messages on the platforms where you are, and ensure that they're part of this training. In few minutes, we are starting. In few minutes, we are starting. Can we all hear me? Once again, we'd like to welcome everyone that has joined in for this training. It promises to be wonderful experience. It promises to be a mind changing experience. In the few minutes, we're going to introduce resource person in the person of Dr. Freeman. Um, just before his introduction, we'd like to introduce the MD of Chateau Royal, Mr. Oluwatobi Osonuga, to help to introduce the resource person. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, guys. So can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
We can hear you, sir.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. And I want to be sure, is Dr. Freeman online now? Oh, Chuku, is Mr. Dr. Freeman, is he online now? I
Let
think he's
me
finding
reconfirm.
I think he's finding it difficult to join up. So let's be sure that is online now. All right. So while Chuku is trying to find out that, I want to appreciate everyone for taking our time this evening to for this very good interactive, engaging session. And I promise you, it's going to be very insightful for those that have been in Dr. Freeman's section at different point. You can definitely believe with me that it's going to be a reward for your timing. All right. So for those that might be having questions, I will also implore that we use um the chat bot. You can also raise your hand if there's any need. But I will appreciate if you can take the question and answer session back to towards the end of the session so that it's not a little bit untidy to follow through. So Chuki, is Dr. Freeman online now?
He's not joined in, but he's online. He just responded to my message.
All right. So this wonderful evening we're talking about tips to selling with ease. And everyone can trust me that in recent times, it's been a whole lot of work to sell. And for those that have read the book called Who Moved the Cheese, what used to be very obtainable in selling yesterday is no more majorly obtainable as at today. So they are more or less a modified version, modified and tweaked way of getting things done. Hence the reason why we'll be talking about tips to selling with ease. And for those that's also, gone through and bought into Dr. Freeman's book, The Game Changer and the money print money, please try as much as possible to get the lay your hands on those books. And for those that also want to improve their sales, also can get their hands on fanatic prospecting. You can also get your hands on, for those that want to actually improve their habits. You can get your hands on atomic habits. And lastly, also, you can get your hands on sell like crazy. Those are very insightful, well articulated, you know, journals that will help us become a better version of ourselves. So this evening we'll be having Dr. Freeman. I want to be sure he's in before I get to introduce him.
He's in, sir. He's
All
in,
right,
sir.
fantastic. All right, so fantastic. All right, so this evening, with no much ado, it's been a very great pleasure to welcome our very own, and if I mean our very own, a very visionary entrepreneur and pro tech leader that has over a decade in entrepreneurial
No,
prowess.
I've already joined, sir.
Right. Hello, sorry, please, as you are coming in, you can mute yourself so that we don't disturb ourselves. Trust me, Dr. Freeman has a track record of successful venture into real estate with transactions with over billions, accompanied with so many numerous accolades. Driven by passion of transformation, transforming the real estate landscape, he serves currently as the CEO and founder of Pillar, a revolutionary real estate finance company, which stands to support, provide seamless financial solution for rentals, landlords, investors, real estate professionals, property developers, and government agency. He is a forward thinker and established Protect and he established Protect Up Africa International, a venture studio dedicated to building Africa's most sought after and expansive ecosystem of the Protect companies. Since 2016, Dr. Freeman has been a pivot figure for the real estate industry, collaborating with over 25 property developers within the nation. His role as a broker, advisor, and business development consultant highlights his expertise in crucial areas such as business and brand development, product formulations, market penetration, product launch, sales and marketing, stakeholders relationship management, and is a consultant, is a team capacity developer, and a market trend analyst. This afternoon, it's a pleasure to welcome again a very our very own and esteemed fellows from Wired Innovation UK, a chartered institute of public resources management and politics, Ghana, is also World Business Angels Investor Senator, affiliated with G20 Global Partnership for Financial Inclusion. Without much ado, guys, it's been a pleasure to welcome Dr. Freeman Osonuga to this very great platform, and I want us to be very attentive, pay prompt attention to whatever he has to say. Trust me, we all grow by the shoulders of leaders. He's a distinguished medical doctor, so we don't just call him a doctor. He's a distinguished medical doctor, an accomplished author, and a catalyst for innovation. Guys, with with a warm welcome, and I want us to put it on the chat button. Just let's celebrate with him. Let's welcome Dr. Freeman Oshonoga. All right, thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Toby, for the warm introduction. Thank you so very much. I trust that it's going to be an exciting time of conversation today. So if you're listening to me, please let's hit the chat button. I want our interaction to be very, very active. If you can hear me, say sales. I mean, just punch it in the chat box. Says sales. So for a start, I want to find out from us what have been the challenges that we are experiencing. I can see Raymond. What have been the challenges that we are facing, and then how we can talk through them. Choice. I can see your the comments. So we want to make it a very interactive session today, and then we're just going to be talking, about the current dynamics in the real estate market. So this made me remember one of the things, one of the highlights I've discussed with Mr. Toby before, that our industry change almost every 3 months. The dynamics you see today, about business is different from the dynamics. The dynamics you see in Q1 2024 is different from the one you will see in Q2 of the same 2024, and it's different from that of Q3 and of that of Q4. Why? Because so many factors, local factors within the real estate space and factors that are not even within the real estate are actively changing the experience that we have and the dynamics of our business. But no matter what the updates are, no matter what the situation are, we are entrepreneurs because we are change makers. I mean, we are here because will make things happen. And the government might not make it happen for us. We will make it happen for ourselves. And that is why we're in sales. That is why we're in real estate. And that's why we are in business. We're in business because we are resilient. I mean, there are many easy way outs, for a lot of people, but for us, this is the best thing that we know how to do, and we just don't give up. I know the market has been a bit on a low vibe. There's been very low vibes in the market, and it's not been peculiar to real estate. I think, with the current devaluation of the naira, many investment have been chasing dollar, and so more investors were losing trust in the naira and in the Nigerian economy. And the issue was, so if I even invest my money at say 900 naira to $1, when I need to exit, when I need to close my sale, when I need to liquidate my assets, if I liquidate my asset at 1,600 naira to $1, then definitely, no matter what I seem to have gained, I will have lost it. So all of those dynamics, were making investors to prioritize dollar-based investments, and then that was now having a very negative trend on the Nigerian real estate space. But be that as it may, thankfully the new government has put in certain monetary and fiscal policies that is already beginning to have positive impact on the naira and on the investors' confidence. Already, I mean, based on the last meeting, the Monetary Policy Committee of the CBN, we've seen where the CBN has literally increased all the interest rates, and the implication of that is that for investors, they will get more returns on their money. So, and this will compel more people to invest in naira-based investment as against dollar-based investment. And almost simultaneously, we have now seen the trend change from a situation where, dollar was just having a free fall. Now it is gradually improving. Why? Because more money is now coming back into the economy. There is more confidence in the Nigerian economy. This new monetary and fiscal policy of the CBN is already beginning to yield positive impact. And this is important for us to know because it is the junction where the tides turn. It is the very junction where the tides turn. The market was on a downward trend, and now that based on certain strategic move by this new government, then the dynamics are already changing. In addition to these rates being increased, we have now also seen the CBN government making a claim that they have now already cleared all the backlogs of the FX commitment they have to different companies. And I mean, people that have invested have been able to get their money back. And also, very importantly, we have seen the external reserve also now beginning to increase, and as the country's external reserve begin to increase, it means that investors will be able to see that the country has what it takes to meet up with their FX, with their forex obligation. In fact, also close to this monetary policy is where you see CBN taking away licenses of some bureau de change companies and just making it, just discouraging many people from bastardizing the currency. So all of this is telling us something important, which is now that downward trend in the Nigerian economy is taking an immediate turn. And as it takes a turn, it means that more investors are going to have more confidence in our economy, and then all the money that were chasing dollar or dollar-based investment before, or the money that were leaving the economy before, will no longer leave, and then more money will come back into the economy. And when more money is coming back into the economy, this is now the time where all the inflows will begin to come back into real estate. And in fact, no matter what the experience has been in sales and in marketing, this is the time where we really need to get back in the game. This is the time where we really need to put in new efforts. No matter what our experience has been, no matter what the yield of our marketing has been, this is the time not to be discouraged. This is the time to really now get back into the game and do what has worked before. So it is important for me to share that as an introduction, so that we know already where the economy is and where we are, and how that economy, the general economy, how this affects our real estate business. So of course, the conversation today is about how we are going to sell, and how we are going to sell very easily. How do we make sales, and how do we do that very easily? For a start, for most realtors, for most people, the system that we have created in our sales infrastructure needs to be reviewed. We need to pay close attention back to the matrix of our sales mechanism. Essentially, you have heard it over and over and over and over again that sales is a game of numbers. And essentially, it is actually a game of numbers and a game of routine. So if you want to sell, if you want to keep selling, if you want to continue to sell, you must have systems that enable you to sell. You must have protocols that enable you to sell. You must have ways that you are filling your sales pipeline with prospects. I mean, I should use the proper words that we normally use. You must have systems that you are using to repopulate your sales funnel. So let's say, for example, in the last 3 months or in the last 6 months, if there were investors that you have spoken to, if there were prospects that you have had in trying to convince them for transactions in real estate or for sales in real estate, this is the moment to reconnect with them, to recommunicate with them, so that, because all investors right now are now looking out, they are now more open to making investments again in the Nigerian economy. So I go back to my conversation on the protocol, the system that you have for sales, and the fact that sales is a game of numbers. Let's talk about marketing, for example. If you are not marketing, you cannot have leads that will come into your sales funnel. I mean, so when the economy was down, maybe you stopped to market, but right now is time to pick it up. Let's pick it up again. Let's pick it up again. And when we talk about marketing, so some people will say, marketing, you have cold market, you have warm market, but that's not my point. My point is, this is the time to go back into the market and go very aggressively. This is a time to do any and everything that will put us in front of the investor. Because many investors right now are open and they are willing to put more money back in the Nigerian economy. So what do? Now let's go all out in marketing, and let's do it again with confidence, with trust, and with faith. We are resilient. This is our life. It is about sales. It's about conquering all the difficulties ahead. It's about overcoming the hurdles. It's about overcoming the odds. This is a life that we live, and we are built for this. So talking about marketing, I don't know what you have done before, but this is the time to try new things. So generally, we are talking about offline marketing, online marketing. This is the time to exploit all options possible. For offline marketing, print flyers, for example. For example, print flyers, get boys, get on the road, get in the traffic, go to supermarket, do a road show in your church on Sunday. Today is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday. Print flyers, put your numbers on it. Get to the car park, let people help you to put the flyers at the door of all your church attendees. And don't, if you can do it for your church, don't do it only for your church. Dedicate 2-3 Sundays to Storm Mainland, to Storm Island, all the high-end churches, Elevation Church, House on the Rock. I mean, there are so many of them on the island and even on the mainland. So this is a time, print flyers. I mean, and this has worked before and it will continue to work again. And when you print flyers, you can also take it further by making sure you partner with newspaper retailers, newspaper agents, and where you cannot put your home flyer, where your boys, your agent cannot distribute your flyers, the newspapers can help you to get into those offices. I mean, most offices in Nigeria today, newspapers enter those offices every day. It might not be easy, and those newspapers are for the decision makers there. They are for the CEOs or for the top management people. So that's your fantastic offer. Those properties you want to buy, you want to sell, whether they are in Ekpe or they are in Ibejileki or they are even in Ibadan or wherever they are, whether they are built or not built, make fantastic flyers for them, with very compelling offer. And insert it, partner with newspaper retailers or sellers, so that as they are sharing the newspapers, distributing it to various offices, distributing the newspaper to various gated estates, your flyer is going with those newspapers into those offices where you cannot enter. Your flyers will enter even with the newspapers, and even in traffic during the peak periods, early in the morning when people are rushing to work, and then late in the evening when they are coming back, let your people storm the traffic, with flyers, and this is something you can do, and this gives you an edge, because right now the market is opening up already and investors are already considering what options they have. Very close to that, you can also do radio jingles. You can become guests on radio shows that have huge followerships, 5 minutes, 3 minutes every week. I mean, you can already put your property, put your project right in front of investors. So online marketing, online marketing, we have several options. I mean, of course, social media. With social media, this is a time where to put in renewed efforts into your social media marketing. I mean, to put in intentional work into content creation and your social media management. Unlike offline marketing, when you distribute the flyers, for example, the flyers are gone, they are no more in your hands. The customers, the prospect or the leads or the general market receives them. So, but unlike online marketing, say social media marketing, for example, the content you have created remains on your page, and any person that stopped by can still revisit those contents. So let the social media pages be well managed, whereby they are the go-to places for information. Let your social media pages be the go-to places for credible information in real estate. Let your marketing be well crafted. Let the videography, let the cinematography, let the creativity, the ingenuity that goes into the marketing, let it be compelling, let it be different, so that you are going to stand out from the crowd. And there are many platforms on Instagram, for example, that everybody goes to for one news or for one gist or for one apropos or the other. Tunde Ednot's page. Go talk to them, email them, find out how much is it to advertise there. Sell your properties to them, let them publish for you, pay for those adverts. For Instablog, for example, send your properties there, make advert. In fact, most Nigerian celebrities, all the celebrities you are following, whether they are male or female, a good number of them are open to making posts on their page for you. You will only pay for it. And if you pay them well enough, they by themselves can record the video in promoting that property. So this is the time to do all of this marketing. And if it is email marketing you want to do, this is the time to go in and then do it well. But no matter what it is you are doing, you do not have the right to begin to complain about downtime in the market if you are not marketing, if you are not aggressively marketing. So the tide is turning, the economy is getting better, investors' confidence is already building up. And as this investors' confidence is building up, this is the time for us all to get in. You know, the market is going to build up, it's going to take off again. And as it's taking off, you better be right there. You know, as it's taking off. So right now, all the money that we're chasing the dollars are no more chasing the dollars. They are now chasing Naira-based investments. So this is a time for us all to go in there, and the best way we do it is by aggressive marketing. So, and then in addition to online marketing, offline marketing, you can still do a combination of different activations in malls, road shows. You know, you can storm different conferences. The conferences don't have to be related to real estate. The conferences don't have to be related to real estate. Let's say oil and gas people are having a conference. You can be the real estate company there, marketing to everybody. Let's say logistics guys are having a conference. Let's say it is AC people, tech people that are having a conference. Be the real estate face in those places. If you are with me, say yes. If you are still with me, say yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
so real estate essentially is a game of numbers.
Yes.
Sales is essentially a game of numbers. So when many realtors say they are not selling, it is because they are focusing on just 2 or 3 prospects. And 2 or 3 prospects a month is too small, you know, for you to expect any good conversion. So I've talked about numbers, but I also talk about creating a system whereby your funnel, your sales funnel, whereby the number of people asking you about properties, the number of people showing interest in what you are selling is increasing on a daily basis. I mean, the more the people that talk to you about what you are selling, the more your chances of creating a sale. And if I were you, I will focus more effort. You know, I'll focus more effort on increasing the number of people that I am talking to on a daily basis and the number of people that are talking to me about real estate, because that is where the magic happens. That is where the magic happens. You know, many realtors focus essentially on getting money from the 1 or 2 people who have made an inquiry from them, you know, while we should just all be out and chasing more and more people, you know, because it is in those numbers that the magic happens. For example, some people are interested in, so for example, I think about 2 or 3 Sundays in church, one of my friends spoke to me about his plan to buy a 2-bed apartment, you know, in Lekki Phase 1. But his plan was that he's expecting an inflow in April, May, you know, but already he's planning already, and then he's having conversation, you know. So for most realtors, somebody is asking you an inquiry right now about the property that you are selling. It does not necessarily mean that he's ready to buy now. He might be expecting an inflow in 6 months' time, in 1 year's time, and just want to find out, you know. But if you are talking to, say, 20 more people, If 20 more people are reaching out, then you will have chances of closing some immediately, some in 3 months, some in 6 months. And that way, you have a more constant inflow of money. So, as regards with sales, it starts with prospecting. Essentially, sales starts with prospecting, and it's going to be from your marketing. When you do marketing, you get leads. You get leads. Leads are people who show interest in the properties that you have to sell. So now, of course, we want the sales to come. And so after marketing, after the advertisement, we're excited that, oh, yeah, so now somebody is interested. People are calling you, they're sending an email, they're replying to the messages, and then you are interested. But immediately somebody calls you after your advert, you now need to, your best opportunity of closing that sale is within the first 5 minutes of that interaction. So let's say, for example, you've done all of this storm marketing, you've spread out flyers via your church, via newspapers, you've distributed flyers in your estates, in traffic, or you've done adverts online, you sponsored adverts, or on celebrity pages, you paid 50,000, 100,000, 250,000 for some of these adverts, and people are now DMing you or they are calling you. Now, when somebody calls you and say they want to find out more or they are interested in any property, that conversation you have with them, that first call, that is the most important interaction that will help you to close that sale or that will make you lose that sale. Why and how do I say so? Number one, for most realtors, so when that calls come, we saw your advert, we need a property, a 2-bed property, a 2-bedroom apartment for 70 million in Lekki phase 1. The next thing they say is, okay, no problem. Is this number on WhatsApp? I will check what I have and I will send it to you. Meanwhile, that is not the next thing to do. Say, for example, the person has called you. The first thing you do is you need to ask them questions. In this business, I know we are eager to make the sale, but it is much more important to ask questions so that we have more and more clarity. So you're asking the questions now. You're asking your customer questions, certain precise questions. And there are 3 types. These questions are in 3 different categories. Number one, you want to find out about the customer, why they want to buy this property. What will this property do for them? Do they have the money now to buy this property? Are they the decision maker determine if to buy this property or not? So for example, the person has called you and says they saw your advert to buy a land in Ekpe and then they want to know more about it. So you acknowledge, oh, thank you so much for calling. Thank you for reaching out. First of all, my name is Freeman Osonuga. I'm CEO for this company, this marketing company, and I'm excited to be speaking with you today. So, sir, I want to find out, why do you want to buy this property? I mean, what's buying it because? Are you interested in this property because you want to use it to build your house, or you just want to buy the land and buy it for keeps, or you are building a house immediately? So it's always important to ask them why. Based off of that, they will tell you, we just want to use it to tie down money. Then the next question you will ask is, if I help you to get the property that is suitable, that will meet this need you have, are you able to pay for that property now? That question is what most realtors don't ask. So, question, they now tell you, yes, if all the details of the property meet what we want, we're able to buy it now. We're able to close the transaction now. Then at that point, the person will tell you, oh no, I'm not even the person buying. It is my brother that is buying, and I'm just making an inquiry on his behalf. Oh no, it's not, the money is not yet ready. But I mean, in my office where I'm about to take some job, I mean, there will just be different timelines. And based off of that, you will know the person that is ready to deal now and the one that is not ready to deal now. So that will help you in planning, in managing the person. Then when you also now ask them, sir, if we get you the right property, are you the person able to make this decision, or you will need contribution from your lawyer or from your wife in order to make this investment decision? They will tell you, oh yeah, most definitely, as a protocol, before I buy anything, my lawyers must go through them. Oh, it's my wife that will go through them, or is my wife will make a decision. Oh, but no, I can make my decision alone. I know what I want. You will be clear. If, say, for example, the person is not buying, cannot make the decision, he might have the money. It might be his wife that will determine it. In inspection or in further conversation, you will want to carry that person along. You will want that person to be involved, because if that decision maker is not involved, whatever you present to this person is just, it will not be enough to convince the other person, and it might stall your transaction. So when you ask these 3 questions, it helps you to qualify that person that has now reached out to you, that is a lead. It will tell you if the person can buy now, if the person is just asking, or if the person wants to buy later. And that way, you'll be able to plan yourself, plan your energy, plan your resources. If the person will buy later and it's not urgent, or the person doesn't have the money, you can put the person in your broadcast list and then be sending the person updates. But you will not jump on the road and go and look for the property now and say the person can buy it now, when the person cannot buy it now. So, but those questions, the other thing the questions do for you also is that the questions separate you from the rest of realtors that prospect has spoken with. Most realtors, once they hear inquiry like this, they jump out. They don't ask any further question, and that is not professional. I mean, if you go to a doctor today and say that you have headache, you are stooling and all of that, and it's an emergency, no matter how emergency it is, the doctor will still ask you questions. If you call MTN customer service, before they attend to you, they will still ask you questions. I mean, so, and in sales, 80% of the time, it's better for you to get the customer to be the one doing the talking, and you are doing the listening. Because the more you allow them to talk, the more information you will gather from that interaction that will now help you to profile them, and then now help you to close down. So when you allow them to do the talking, you get information. You will now use this information in giving them answers during your own talk time, and then you will be able to close better, faster. And when they are talking to you about, of course, in building rapport with them, let's say, for example, you're asking a girl out, or as a guy is asking you out, one of the first things you will see is that there will be rapport. You will just want to have conversation, and when you have conversations with people, this helps you to build some kind of vibe with them, some type of trust with them. You will do business more with somebody that you can talk with, you can build some rapport with, than with somebody you cannot. That is just say, oh, you need house? Don't worry, sir. We are going to get you the house. But, oh, sir, so where do you work? Do you support Chelsea? Oh, really? So in building rapport with your customer, you want to start with open-ended questions. The same question that you started to ask about, oh, why do they, what all of that will help you to profile them, which will help you to qualify them and know that this lead, whoever responds to your advert is a lead. Then you have the person question to be able to qualify that lead. And if the person can buy your property now, if the person has the money now and is a decision maker, then you now have a prospect. So a prospect is something you want, is the person you want to be talking to. And the more the people that fit into this category that you're talking to, the closer for you to get the sale. So if in a month you can have 400 leads and just say about 20 or 30 prospects. So your effort on the prospect is what will lead to sale over some time. So now, even with this prospect, how it now happens is you now want to know them better. You want to know them better. You want to know where they work. You want to know whether they love football, or you want them to be able to build some type of rapport with you. Because when they build rapport, trust is built. And in business, nobody will give you their money if they don't trust you. And that is why you will see a situation where two different realtors are talking to the same customer. They are pushing the same property. But the customer will not buy from one and then go and buy from the other. The same property, two different realtors. What has happened is that one of the realtors has been able to build better trust, with the customer. And in as much as they are buying Chateau Royal property from you, essentially they feel like you are still the one they are giving the money. You build trust by building rapport with your customer, by showing genuine interest. You wanted to know them better. You wanted to know why they want to build real estate, why they want to buy real estate, or what their investment journey is, and then positioning yourself to be somebody that is there to help them achieve that objective. So they see you as an ally. They don't see you as somebody that wants to force a transaction down their throats. So now in that rapport, you know what they want. So your own objective is now in helping them to achieve what they want. You are working with them, to achieve what they want. So the rapport you build with them will build intimacy. This intimacy between you and them, this new vibe, will make them to trust you better than just one random realtor. And also, very importantly, you have to position yourself as an expert. You have to see yourself as the professional that will really help them, as an investment advisor, as a guide, and then do that work essentially, where you are guiding them through. And for you to do this, you must already know this real estate. You must already not be able to already train and discipline yourself enough to speak in a way that is professional, with courtesy, with clarity. When you are a consultant, they come to you and say, we have XYZ budgets, and then this is what we want to buy. We don't know, but this is our goal. What do you think? Do you think this will be able to help us to, and what we are talking about is what's going to make your customers, your client, to stick with you 3 or 4, 5 years after the transaction. Any other real estate transaction they want to do, they will still bring it back to you. Even though you might not be the realtor that will sell everything to them, they will still carry you along. Why? Because you are there as the guide. You are there as the torch bearer that shows them where to go. I mean, this meeting started. This is a real estate meeting, but I just spent my time in the beginning to talk to you about the monetary policy of the CBN government of CBN, and how that is impacting the economy. And the point essentially is you have to be aware. You have to be aware. Once you are aware, your customers will have confidence in you. And because they know you have their best interest at heart, they will trust you with information, and then you help them to do guide them in their decision making, and then they see that you are on their side. So once you build rapport with them, already you have gotten data about what they want, and then all the properties you are building, you are suggesting to them are those that will help them to achieve that. Then the next thing you will see is that, okay, so the property is good, but it is just normal that you want your customer to buy this property. They might say, oh, it is good, but it is a normal part of the real estate transaction sales process where the buts always comes in, where the ifs always comes in, where they say, oh, the property is good, but it is too far. I mean, Bejuleki is good, it's a good place to invest, but the refinery is there, the pollution there will be very bad. Oh, it's too expensive. Oh, I don't have the money now. There will just be one excuse or the other. These are normal parts of the real estate sales process. They are called objections. And if you cannot overcome objections, you're just not going to sell. And if you are me, that if you don't sell, you don't eat. I mean, you really need to close that sale. So what you do is that we have to be comfortable with people saying no. I mean, it is not the end of the transaction when they say no. It is just the beginning of it. In fact, some customers will now tell you, they can give you 17 problems about the property. So now when you are in a sale transaction with a customer, and then there is a lot of but, ifs, and the customer is really critical. They are really critical primarily because they are processing it, primarily because they are mentally involved, primarily because they really want to get into it. And so they are looking at all the different components of it, And already, so if you have done your work well in that area of rapport building, in that area of rapport building, Favor, as I'm mentioning this now, I'm remembering your customer. Can you hear me, Favor?
Yes.
Okay, so now let me manage that for you right now. So number one, sales is not a mental decision. Sales is not a mental decision, it's an emotional decision, it's a psychological decision. One of the definitions I have for a realtor is a psychologist that shows houses. A realtor is a psychologist that shows houses every day. He's a psychologist, but what he's selling is houses. So people buy real estate emotionally, psychologically. There is an emotional reason why the person want to buy. It might be that maybe they are trying to, if they are based abroad, they don't want a situation where they come back to Nigeria and they don't have any house or they don't have any property, or maybe they are even deported and then they don't have anything, or their friends, their family are trying to buy something, they have things that they don't have, social reasons and all of that. Now, in most cases, once the objections are already coming, so you will see that your customers will not buy it because it makes sense 100%. They will buy it for emotional reason. And that is why we see that you talk to a customer, the property is 100% what the customer needs, but doesn't see he's not buying. It's because they're not connected. You have not pressed their emotional button. So customers are buying to get towards pleasure or to run away from pain. During rapport, you must be able to establish what is their pain points and what is their pleasure points. Your pain points are your mumu button. If you are in a relationship, for example, your spouse knows your mumu button. Let's say they want to, maybe it might even be married or so. Let's say they want to get money from you. If they tell you what they need the money for, you might not really give them, because that might be mental. I might say, so you don't need that now, but you have 2 or 3 of these other stuff that I have not used. That's mental. You might process it mentally. But on your head and scratch your head she will get the money. You understand it? So that's essentially the same thing with sales. So for example, there's this analogy I usually give. So it was Friday night yesterday, and then you went out partying with your friends, and then you got drunk, and you passed out. Then this morning, you woke up this morning, and you woke up with a banging headache, and then you rushed to the supermarket to buy a very powerful pain reliever. So what has happened to you between yesterday and today is that you have bought stuff. You went partying with your friends. So you are spending money on alcohol, on booze, and all of that because you were going towards pleasure. You know, you wanted to get to do TGIF. You know, that was the reason why you were buying. But now you woke up and there was banging headache. And I mean, you the strongest pain reliever. So that was your pain buy, either to just to pleasure or to go away from pain. So it's buying maybe because in the future he does not want to be without any property that will give him rental income, or he does not want to be dependent on his children, or he does not want to be. There's something chasing everybody. They will tell you this during rapport. When it is time for the after you have talked to them and then they have the buts and the ifs, those pain points are the things you will remind them. If she was buying it because of the future, so you're going to tell her now that, ma, if you buy this property, if you don't now buy it, that future will come. The difference will be whether you now have this property or not. This property doesn't have to be perfect for you to buy it. But so now a good realtor or a good salesperson is not the one that sells a perfect property. A good salesperson is the one that sells an imperfect property excellently. And it is about this emotional button. So from rapport, you get the data you need. From the presentation, you now match. You are a matchmaker. Some other people call realtors matchmakers because you are matching people's dreams with the properties that will help them to do that. You know, so you now match the person, what you have gained from what they need. You match the relevant properties that will help them to achieve that. So you are selling, don't sell features of a property to them. Nobody is interested in that a land has CFO. So what will they do with it? No, but the fact that CFO means it gives them security that, oh, this land will give you peace of mind. You know, so it's not the features that they need as to what the property can do for them. So in selling, in talking to them about the portfolio you now have that can help them to meet up, that can help them to meet with their goal, the features with what it can do for them. Nobody cares about a car except the fact that the car can take you to where you need to go. So you're not buying a car just for the sake of it. They're not buying the house just for the sake of, they're buying either for rental income or a place to stay. And then the location, the accessibility, the title, the size, and then the features. You connect all of this to what he has told you. If the house is for rent, you know that you're going to connect it to how quickly it can be rented, the rental value of that property. If the house is their own, you might now talk about the size, how big the sitting room, how big the kitchen is. So now, if the house is for rent, the kitchen does not even need to be big. If that's the objection Madam is bringing up, you understand it? Why? Because they're not going to stay there. You know, so understanding the pain points will also help you in handling the objections. And most importantly, you must be an excellent closer. You must know how to close, you know. And in closing, there are about 3 strategies with which you can use to close faster. Number 1 is to create scarcity, create abnormal scarcity. You know, let them know. For most offers you see, they will tell you if you buy it today, you will get this. That same thing you can buy it tomorrow. But if you don't do it now, you will not do it tomorrow. You know, I mean, for every one of us, there are so many things trying to chase our attention. The customer that wants to buy real estate from you today, that same customer, that same money, he could use that same money for children's school fees. He could use that same money to buy the ticket for their summer vacation. He could use that same money to buy another car. There's so many things chasing that same money. So if you don't make this transaction to be urgent, to be time bound, to be an offer that will not be available forever, then if the customer feels like they can do it anytime, it's not urgent, they will never do it. They will never do it. So number one, you want to create urgency. Number two, you want to also create scarcity. Number three, you also want to make the transaction easy for them to do. So say for example, there are many people. The reason why many people are buying in Bejuleki, buying lands or bought lands in the Bejuleki was also primarily because many people bought land in the Bejuleki. The reason why many people bought land in Ekpe is also because many people are buying in Ekpe. So there's something called crowd mindset, crowd mentality. People feel safe going in the same direction of others. If people feel like this property is selling and selling fast and selling wild, then they also feel like they are being left out if they don't partake. So you must understand that you are a psychologist and position your offer in such a way that the customer feel like, look, guys, if they don't buy this one, they will be left out of this offer because every other person too is buying it. So let's say, for example, you have 10 units of properties for this offer. 7 is already been taken. 2, we are expecting deposit for them. It's only remaining 1 that we are yet to get a commitment on. When you put that in your mouth, what you have said is that, look, this property is an hot cake, and there's a way you have put the guy under pressure mentally. In fact, that same might be the first one you are talking about, but you have put him under pressure mentally, and he will consider him more compared to if you now tell him he's the first person that is buying that property from you. So urgent. So that is creating scarcity, and then also urgency, telling them that, look, guys, we don't have all day for this property. We don't have all day for this property. We don't have all day for this transaction. It needs to close now, or it needs to close in 7 days' time. I mean, the promo ends by the end of this month. After that, this offer is off the table, and then making the transaction easy to execute. If they don't have the outright payments, let them make an initial deposit. And with an initial deposit, once they put one leg in, then the transaction is closed, and then we can follow up with them for their payments, for subsequent payments. All you just want to do is make it easy for them to make that initial payment. Make it easy for them to make that initial deposit. Once they are one leg in, the rest, they say, is story. But now, after the client has paid, that is not the end of the sales process. For most people, you just process their commission and then they are done. I mean, any customer that trusts you enough to buy from you will still give you more money. Any customer that trusts you enough to buy from you, they will still give you more money. They are buying from you because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And that transaction does not have to be the only one, does not have to be the final one. In fact, for this period where the economy is very good now, this is a good time. This is a good time to reconnect with all your former customers, from all your former clients, those who have bought properties from you before. They can buy again. You can give them a better discount, a super deal, a returning customer deal. They can, because they've trusted you before. You see, no business survive on just new sales alone. I mean, you see some restaurant that opens up in your neighborhood and everybody's going there to buy food. But if most people, but you see, after some 3 months or 6 months down the line, those restaurants shut down. But you were wondering, this restaurant people were patronizing. What usually happened was because they were new, people wanted to test them out. They were going there to see, so they were making new sales. But if they don't make repeat sales, if those people don't come back and keep on coming, that company is going to shut down. So you as a real estate professional, your business cannot survive on just one sale per customer. You cannot survive business with just one sale per customer. You must structure something so that you can resell to your existing customers. You must structure an offer. You must have something that will make whoever has trusted you with money before to trust you again with their money. I mean, it's easier. It's easier. It's 5 times easier for you to sell to an old customer than for you to sell to a new customer. And if it is 5 times easier, it costs you way lesser. You make more money when you are reselling to an existing person because there's a relationship, there's a trust already. So now the way you do this is by managing. I can see a comment here about about Angela saying, what's the loyalty doing to protect us as regard MICL and all of that. This is not the place to have this conversation, please. This is a tutorial sales training. If you want to have conversation on this, you have my number, you can call it. This is not the reason why we are here for this chat. Now, the best way to make sure that you are able to manage your customer well is after that sale, let it be the beginning of a new relationship with your customer. Most realtors just get the commission, they get the incentive, and that's all. The next thing to do is let's make sure that your customers get their documents on time. Number 2, let's make sure that you partner with them in their allocation. Let's make sure that you know more about them, about their birthdays, about their wedding anniversaries, and closer to that time, you send them a message. Let's also make sure that from your commission, you buy them a gift. Buy them a thank you gift. If your commission is 5%, just 1% of it or 2% of it can help in saying thank you to that customer, in which will help in. So this will just set you apart. And because most realtors don't do some of these things we are mentioning here. So now you have closed the deal. Buy something. Make sure the document come out on time. You by yourself go get those documents from the company and then take it to the customer. But when you are going, don't go alone. Package a gift and go there and thank you for trusting me with your transaction. So that on its own will set the customer apart. And I've tried this alongside all of this other stuff, and it has worked like magic. So when you do this and a combination of all that we have seen, 3 things will happen. The customer that has now bought from you, when you now do post-sale services to them, it will give you 3 things. Number 1, the customer can buy more from you. The customer can buy more. That particular person, look, that particular, whoever has bought once from you can buy again, he can buy again, and he can buy again and again. That is number 1. Number 2, the customer can give you a referral. Let's say, for example, I have bought land or house from you. That means that my friends, my social strata, the people on my level 2 can buy that same land and that same house. And if I start to my friends that, hey guys, I bought land from Mr. Raymond, you two should buy land from me. My friends will trust me, and then they will buy from Mr. Raymond. But how will this customer give you this referral? The only way they will do that is you ask them to give you a referral. You ask them to refer you to some of their friends that can also buy the same property. For referral, you need to make the ask. For referral, you need to ask. Let's be confident in asking them for referrals. Let's be confident in asking them for referrals. Then the number 3 thing that will happen is, even though, let's say, for example, he's not now even able to buy more, or he's not able to refer you, you are so sure the customer you have treated very well will not go out to say evil things about you. You know, they will anytime they have opportunity to say, they will say good things, they will say nice things about you. And this business of real estate thrives on goodwill. It might not just even be real estate. All businesses thrives on goodwill. The more goodwill you have in the marketplace, the more your business thrives. I mean, the more good name you have, you know, and whatever opportunity you have for people to say good things about you, essentially based on exceptional service delivery. What I've talked about in post sales service is exceptional customer service, exceptional service delivery. You know, just being ahead of what they will need, you know, and then being on spot with your delivery, with your customer service, you know, all of this puts you ahead. The next transaction they will do, you are top of mind. You know, you are top of mind in the people they will speak with. And I think with this and with these insights, I believe that it will be a good time, a new experience as we go forth into this new phase with renewed confidence, you know, and then we are able to close more and more deals. I have spoken with you from my best-selling book, which is called Print Money with Zero Capital. So all I know about sales, about marketing, I put it in this book, you know, and I've spoken with you from this book. I did not write this book to make a profit, you know, so, you know, you don't see me champion it. For anybody that wants to buy this book, we'll give it away at 2,000 naira a copy. You can talk to my colleagues at Adlialty. They will be able to arrange for you how to pay for it and how to get your copy. So we will take a couple of questions now, and then we'll be able to round up the training. I hope it has been worth your time. Please drop questions in the chat box.
I think you should pick it up from here so that you can. And a very big thank you to Dr. Freeman for this very insightful session. We didn't take this for granted. It's been a pleasure, always a pleasure to have you host us. And I believe so many people on this platform who've been over 30 at one point have got some value for time this evening. So I'll hand over to Owachuku now. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
If you have questions, alternatively, if your call, you can unmute question, avoid start with once again. So if you have a question, just chat box.
Is it me or Ochuku's network seems to be breaking?
Is Ojuku network is very poor.
Yeah, does anybody want to help him from chat or react him?
Yeah, we couldn't hear any tips of the iceberg of the question he's asking. We couldn't hear any tips of it.
Can you hear me, sir?
I think
the network is breaking. You might need to switch your network.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was.
Oh, Chuku, your network is breaking badly. So let's
Oh, can you hear me now?
Can somebody help him?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello,
Can somebody help Wochuku reacting? Is there somebody that can step in and coordinate this second time already? Oh, okay. So please, everyone, drop your question. I can see a question from Olajide that says that if you're just joining real estate industry, how do you begin? Number one, if you're just joining, the first step is not in marketing. The first step is in knowledge acquisition. The first step is in studying. You know, so real estate is actually a field of profession, a field of career, you know, and we should take it as such. We're just favored that we're able to do it without any pre-required licenses, I mean, on the level of individuals. So this is an industry people go to school to study estate management. People go to the industry to study estate management to be able to practice real estate. So the first thing is you want to begin by studying the available properties for sale, the dynamics of the markets, land title, understanding the business model. You know, we run an affiliate marketing system that is in the marketing. You know, then we partner with a development company. You know, just understanding how the dynamics work. Then the properties, the various properties available for sale, types of houses, location, how those factors also affect the prices, the land titles, the processes for land titles, and all of that. And when you have done all of these studies, then you now go to each estate by yourself. You join the company inspection to do product knowledge. That is, you go and look and see and ask more questions to understand it. And then it is based off of that. When you are satisfied that you are sure you know, then you can now start to market. Because once you market, the customer will call you and they will ask you a question within the first 3 minutes of that conversation is where they will decide whether they will do business with you. So, and the book I talked to you about, Print Money with Zero Capital, will help you. You know, it's like a workbook for this. So when you take it, it helps you. All you need to understand our real estate uh, protocol. You know, it just helps you everything you need, land title, properties, and all of that. And then it's a good way for you to start. More questions. I can see a lot of people saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so thank you so much for thank you so much for thank you so much for your time, everyone. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for joining. I hope you are able to put to action all that we have discussed. Olajide says, how do I join? How do I get it? Okay, so whoever sent you the link should be able to send you a loyalty number. You know, I'm trying to type. Yeah, I'm trying to type the number here, but it is not going through. So I'm trying to type in the chats, but it is not going through. So, but we'll get that across to you. Hard copy. You can get hard copy. Discounted 2,000. I think it's for the book sells for like 5,000. But what is most important is getting it across to you to read, and then to help you. Okay, thank you. So one of my colleagues from Loyalty has sent you a message, discounted for 2,000 naira if you're buying it today, you know, and then, but the aim actually is that you're able to read it and then you begin to implement it. It is comprehensive. It will help a great deal. Any other question, please?
Hello?
Any other question? So, after you get the book, please chat with the number, the loyalty number in this chat. You know, in this chat, so they will help in arranging it. I think this is already 22 minutes after 6. In the absence of further questions, we are going to bring the meeting to a close, and I turn it over back to
Dr. Freeman.
Owochukwu.
Sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Dr. Freeman. Hello?
Yes.
Please, may I ask my question? I was actually
Talk
typing the question, but
Yes.
I see that you're about rounding up.
Oh, okay.
Can I go ahead? Can I go ahead with my question?
Please go ahead.
Yes, I was actually about asking, how do I?
Please
I
go
want-
ahead.
I would like you to advise me further on how to approach, the estate company when it comes to the issue of getting more information about the product knowledge. For instance, with what happened in Lagos last year, of some buildings being demolished or some, issues that's related to real estate that's happened last year towards the ending. Lagos state government clamping down on some properties and all that. So in a real estate company, a business, one have to be able to do due diligence. So when it comes to the issue of verifying from the
Hello, I'm with you.
pardon?
I'm with you. Yeah.
When it comes to the issue of verifying
Okay.
from the
So when you sell,
hello? Hello?
yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, I was talking about
Hello, can you hear me?
yes, getting more knowledge about the product in terms of do they have the building permit, do they
Okay,
have
so
approval and all those necessary things, documents, maybe copy of getting some of those documents to further enhance to convince my clients. Thank you.
okay, yeah. So now, two things. If you sell for a company like a Loyalty Business Network, what it's the reason why you sell for a company like that or for any brokerage firm is because you trust that they have done their own due diligence, and then that helps you. With or without that, it is also good that before you market a property, you are doing so not just because of the commission that is being promised or the incentive that will be given. It is also important that you have some comfort, in the company based on the independent research, independent study, or verification exercise that you might have done. The title of the property, the approval process, the approval phase, and all of that. Not just to convince your customer, but for you as a professional to be able to have that level of trust, to peacefully do transaction. What I know about most building projects is that there is no developer in Lagos that starts to build with a complete approval.
Okay.
So the approval is in stages, is a process. You understand it? What is important is they have in the building plan, in the building plan, they are not contravening any law. They are not building on a canal, and they have registered, with the appropriate agency this building plan. Of course, it will take some time for it to come out, for them to get the final approval, but seeing that the company has that working relationship with the agency that is necessary, and then trusting, seeing that the management of the company are people that can be trusted to start, to see to the process, and then to complete that approval process. That is essentially what the real estate is about. Because if we need those approvals to be completed before the transaction is done, then nothing will happen. So so I think that is how to go about it.
Wow.
Are you satisfied, sir?
Yeah, I'm satisfied with your question. I was because I was thinking that these approvals are issued or the permits are issued even before the building starts. So, like you rightly said, that means it has to be something based on trust, and it will just
Yes.
be good. All right, thank you.
It is essentially based on trust, because all of those approvals will not come out before
And even
if for a good number of them, the building is finished before it all comes out.
okay, what about the issue of
But it must be started. It
okay?
must be
What about
started. It must be registered.
okay? But
Continue.
is there any way one can do a verification of this that the approval?
Absolutely, absolutely. If it is started, that's why I said that it must have been started. If it is
Okay,
started, there will be document, there will be numbers with
good,
which that can be tracked.
good.
Yes, it will have been started. Nobody
Okay,
will go and start to build in Lagos now without
good.
having their building plan already submitted and approved and all of that.
So
So
that means
there must be
we can
something
ask
to
for the
see to.
numbers to track. We can ask for the numbers to
Yes,
track,
yes, absolutely,
like the issue of some
absolutely,
properties that you have on CFO in view, maybe freehold.
yes,
We can have
yes,
you
yes,
actually have
yes,
access to the numbers to track it.
absolutely.
Oh, beautiful. All right, thank you very much.
Yes, no problem.
The training, the time you took out to train us today, it was quite insightful. I'm sure everyone that has been a part of this training has learned so much, and we're going back. We've learned. I would like my MD to, if he's still on, to close the meeting. MD, sir. MD, sir. I guess he's having network issues. So,
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Can you hear me clearly now?
yes, we can hear you clearly, sir.
All right. So, good evening, everyone. Once again, I believe that it's been a worthy time out, and it's not a waste of time. A very big thank you to the CEO of Ad Loyalty Business Network for taking out time out of his busy schedule today, because I know that he had other engagement on before now and other engagements immediately after now. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you and we celebrate you now and always. So, to every one of
Thank you
us,
so much for
a
having
whole
me.
lot has been dropped. Thank you, sir. A whole lot has been dropped in us. Prospecting is key. Follow up is important. Adding up to your creating a protocol for prospecting is very important. And also, the CEO also spoke about gifts for anyone that buys from you. It's not only enough. It's also important that as you are earning commission, you are being a blessing to people that give you that opened up their doors and bought from you. And everybody's celebrating something, at least birthday once a year. Take time out and know about them. Take time out and know about their children's birthday. Take time out and know about their own wedding anniversary. Be there for even their wedding, for some people that are bought as a single and now they are getting married. All this avenue to know each other, all this avenue to know each other and be there where it's extremely important. People really don't take it for granted. It's keep you what we call the top of the mind, and people don't forget. You understand? People don't actually forget when at their ceremonies they saw you, so they are not only seeing you when you come to pick the check, you when you are prospecting. They are seeing you when they had something to celebrate. Their parent died, their wife gave birth, their children is having birthday, they themselves are having birthday, even their wife is having birthday. Create time and create journals for it, and you'll be so amazed. Tremendous result these little things can give. So guys, thank you so much once again. It's been a worthy time out, and for me, I really enjoyed the session. And there's going to be so much session as we begin to go in the year. So take your time, look out for our calendars as we come out, and I believe that the first quarter is already gone. People have made money. I don't know how much money you've made. So we are entering into the second quarter. So as you prepare for the second quarter, be more strategic, prospecting, and be more dynamic in your ways, and make sure that you are flexible as much as possible. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'll hand over this to Oscar, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, MD, for that final note. Uh, Please, if you have questions concerning our product, once again, we're Chateau Royal Real Estate Limited. If you have questions concerning our products, concerning our properties, you want to go for inspection, our inspection days are on Wednesdays and Thursdays, as well as on Fridays. So on Wednesdays is for Ibejileki, on Thursday is for Mowe. On Wednesdays is for Ibejileki and Ekpe. On Thursdays is for Mowe. Then we also have Saturdays for both Ibejileki and Mowe. If you have inspections, let us know 24 hours beforehand, and we'll make all the possible arrangements for you, your clients to go inspect the property alongside yourself. If you can't be available and it's just your client, let us know also. With that being said, we want to cut it a wrap for today. See you next time and keep winning.